Hello my lovelies! So for today's video, we are going to be doing a tutorial and review using the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette, which is from her Vault collection. And I'm actually super happy with how this turned out. I'm going to go ahead and start just by prepping my skin using the Pixi Vitamin Wake Up Mist. Then I'm using the AOA Studio Lip Scrub. And then finally moving on to the Urban Decay Primer Potion just to get my lids nice and primed. I am going to go ahead and use some tape today just to make sure we have some really sharp lines. Then we're going to jump in with our first shade, which is the color Poof, which is just this kind of nice, for me it's like a skin tone color. It's just like a really light kind of beige. Then once everything is nice and evened out, we're going to take this shade Shh, which I feel weird saying, but this is actually a really gorgeous kind of taupe color. This is actually one of my favorite colors to use in my crease. I feel like you can do pretty much any kind of look with this, whether you're going warm or cool toned, and it will do great as your transition shade. Then after that, we are jumping in with the shade Potion, which is a really pretty kind of olivey green. And I am just building that up on the outer V and also in the crease just below where we put that taupe shade. And I'm just making sure everything is nice and blended and nice and kind of green toned. Then we're jumping in with the shade Inside Job, which is a really pretty deep teal color. And I'm taking this with a slightly angled and smaller fluffy brush. And I start by really just building this up on that very outer corner. But basically I'm going to build this color up, and then you'll see me go back with the Potion shade and just blend it out like I'm doing here. And I think this really helped. I kept going kind of back and forth between these colors as I built it up to help give us a nice smooth kind of transition between the two colors. And I end up taking this shade pretty much halfway across my lid and then just blending it slightly up into the crease. Then now that I've got that shade pretty much where I want it, I'm not adding any more product to the brush. I'm just kind of pulling it in towards the lid so it'll fade out nice. And then again, just going back to that green shade one last time. Now I'm taking the shade Power Cut on my finger, and this is a really pretty silver shade, and I'm just kind of building this up with my finger. Then you'll see that I'll go back and blend it into the blue shade and then also into the Potion shade, just to make sure we have everything nice and blended. And then I'm going to go back with my finger and just rebuild it up so that we have the pigment that I want on that silver shade. Then as a final step, I'm going back with our very first brush, not really adding any more product, but just buffing out that top line. Then I went ahead and moved on to liner. I'm using a black gel eyeliner today. This is the L'Oreal Infallible eyeliner in Blackest Black, and I'm just using that with an angled brush, bringing in about 3/4 of the way on my lash line. And then I actually go in with a liquid liner. And this is the, it's an Eyeko eyeliner. I'll have to put the specific name down in the description because I can't remember what it's called right at this moment. And then I'm also going to just take that on the very outer edge just to make sure we have a really sharp line on the eyeliner. Then we're going to go ahead and pull that tape off, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks here. We're going to go ahead and move on to skin really quick. Just priming my face with the Touch in SOL No Poreblem Primer. Then I'm just going to take a beauty blender. This is actually the beauty blender from my Shop Miss A haul, and I actually really like it. It works really great, and I am just using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and just blending that all over. So here I try to use my little mini Tarte Shape Tape concealer, but it turns out that it's actually kind of dried up. So basically I just kind of do this on both sides, put a little bit down and then blend it out so that they're even. And then I'm actually trying this Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. And this is actually the first time I'd ever tried it. It's really thick when you first put it on, but it actually blends out very easily. And it gives the under eyes a really nice kind of hydrated finish. And I was actually super impressed with this. So this is definitely something I will be using more often. And then just to get into those inner corners so that we don't really mess up the shadow, I'm just taking a very small kind of flat shadow brush just to really brighten up those inner corners there. We're going to go ahead and set everything down with the Coty Airspun powder. When I first set my eyes here, I thought it looked pretty bad, but afterwards I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't actually look bad, I just have bags under my eyes. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead and move on to brows. Today I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade Dark Brown. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get the skin all bronzed up. I am just using the Amuse Cosmetics Matte Bronzer. I couldn't see a shade name, but this is just the lightest one that they sell of their bronzers. And I'm just taking that kind of underneath my cheekbones, around my forehead, and then I add it just a little bit to my nose just to bring that warmth to the center of my face and make everything nice and balanced. Once all that's on, I just take a kind of flat buffing brush, blend it all out to make sure there's no harsh lines. And now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and just set my brows down with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then we're going to go ahead and finish up our eyes here, jumping back into that first taupe shade, the shade. And then after we have that all blended out, I'm actually adding a little bit of gel liner to my waterline today. I don't love doing this. Well, I have a love-hate relationship because it gives you a really nice matte black waterline that does not budge, but I also have very dry and sensitive eyes, and so it can make that a little bit difficult. Now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and take the black shade from the palette, which is the shade Temptress, and I'm just taking that on a flat shadow brush and kind of buffing kind of just between the waterline and the lower lash line, and then I just buffed it out again with that shade. Then I'm just curling my lashes, adding some of the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and then we are going to just pop on some false eyelashes. And you guys, oh my goodness, they actually turned out pretty dang good today. I was so proud of myself. I did want to mention that the tweezers definitely helped. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add some mascara to those bottom lashes as well. And we're going to go ahead and go back and finish up the face. And for blush, I am using the AOA Studio Perfect Blush. This one is in the shade Mod, and this is just a really pretty kind of mauve color, which I love. And then to highlight, we are using the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian, which is just like a super beautiful blinding highlight. And I'm just putting that on my inner corners, my brow bone, and then I'm highlighting the rest of my face with it as well. I tried this brush first that I got from Shop Miss A, and it didn't do too great of a job, so I went and jumped back to my Real Techniques brush that I usually use with it, and that worked so much better. And then once we finish up highlighting, I'm going to go ahead and jump onto lips. And today I'm using the AOA Studio Wonder Matte Liquid Lipstick. and it's just kind of a really pretty cool mauve nude. This is the shade Boujee, by the way. I don't know that I said that. I tried to overdraw my lips a little bit and it didn't actually work out. They just kind of looked uneven, but otherwise I really love how this look turned out, and I actually really love this palette. I would definitely recommend getting this one. I've heard that there are still inconsistencies, but I really loved how this worked for me. I hope you guys loved it as well. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell before you go. And I will see you guys in my next video.